Monday in class, we were playing around and we came up with something that I thought was absolutely great. It was a coffee amaretto chip. And I thought it was so good that we didn't write it down, but we'll try to make it anyway here. And then I will write it down. I've got my little cards. So it is a cream ice that you will feel is ice cream. It'll taste just like, right? It tastes like ice cream. So we'll start with our basic cream ice formula, which is what?
3-2-1.
3-2-1. So because we're doubling it, it becomes
6-4-2.
Oh, she's sharp. 6-4-2. The only reason I'm doubling it is because I know that if it comes out as good, they're all going to want it out in the plant. And you'll all eat much more than you did of the other stuff. So we'll put in 6 quarts of water. That's all right. Okay, 6 quarts of water. And a little more. What do you need?
Nothing.
Okay. And 4. We'll edit him out. And 4 pounds of sugar. Tell me, I won't look. Is Steve cringing right now?
No, but the engineers on the floor are just screaming.
Larger funnel for the machine.
You'll do fine with this one.
Okay.
We don't do custom work. We can get you flames on the side of your car if you like, though.
Which is the machine we're going to sign and auction off?
Oh, yeah, we'll do that sometime.
All right, so we've got 3-2. Yeah. Now we need, how many of these? Okay. Ooh, you can come work in my store anytime.
Who cleans your machines after these crap?
I do. He doesn't. I do.
I did once.
Once.
It's just not that hard. I'm switching flavors now. Normally it would make chocolate at the end of the day. I mean, lighter down to darker. $1,000 tip for free. Buy a spaghetti colander. If you're working with anything with pieces, a few little pieces will be left in. But if you have a few pieces from this batch and another batch and another batch, pretty soon your drains clog. If you pour all your water through a spaghetti colander, it's going to catch everything and it doesn't go down your drain.
All right, now, does anybody remember how much coffee we used? I thought we used one of those. And we made an eighth? Quarter cup. So we're going to use a half cup because we're doubling the batch, right? I hope so.
How many ounces?
Not you worry.
No, I was just going to tell you if it fell within my range.
All right, we'll see. And now we'll add, we added a little chocolate powder to it, as I recall. Your suggestion.
True.
This is similar to sweetened cocoa, but it's infinitely better.
How much did you put in?
Quart.
Of chocolate.
And then we'll add a little amaretto.
You're making a half batch, aren't you?
What?
You're making a half batch?
No, full batch.
Okay. Wow, a little amaretto.
And that's everything, right?
That was a full bottle?
No. There was this much left in there when I put it in. Weren't you watching? Now we'll see if it's as we remember. Then we'll add chips. And I won't shortchange the chips this time. Oh, look, you opened the button, huh?
No, it's been that way.
Oh, okay.
Next, I'm going to get a microphone and sing. Now I see why he shorted my lavender on chips. He wanted them for his ice cream.
No, these are what's left over. Okay, I think it's good. By the way, before, what I did was I took the chips because I couldn't find mini chips. I usually keep both, mini and regular chips, but I felt these were too big when we made it at the store. So I threw them in the Ninja and I ground them up a little bit. I'm not sure if we don't need a little more coffee. I kind of think a little more coffee would do it. What Alfred E. Newman said. What? Be worried? So now, who's writing this down? Nobody? Good. What do we got? We added another.
Would you add
An eighth. So we had a half and an eighth. Correct. What?
Can I turn it on?
Turn one on.
Refrigeration.
This? Okay, we're ready. That sticks right in your craw.
A little tip. In freezing ice cream, nothing happens for about the first 4 minutes. You're reducing the temperature. So once I put that mix in, I could turn on the refrigeration, get the process going, and add all these ingredients that he put in, and they're all going to mix beautifully, but I'm already 4 minutes into my 8-minute batch. So you can save a lot of time by just get that refrigeration going and put everything else in. To me, it's all about saving time. You don't want to be stuck here all day making ice cream. Want to get back to that Barker Lounger. One thing that hasn't come up today because we didn't do it in any of our flavors, but Jeff introduced me to the Ninja blender. They're about $99, and they could shred absolutely anything on earth. And Jeff taught me, because my Oreo cookie or my Heath candy bar or any of those were all coming out, bleh, mushy. He takes the Heath candy bars, freezes them in the freezer, and then adds them into the blender to grind them into a powder.
You write down
So
how to
where I
mix it.
had pieces of Heath candy bar, he had, for every particle of dairy, he had a particle of Heath candy bar next to it. And you pour that into the machine, and then also you can add pieces that you've cut up, but add them frozen, and makes great candy ice creams. Now you can see, that's the second rinse, and it's It's virtually clear. I don't need to go any further.
What? A little vanilla. What?
Now, is that vanilla strip or extra?
Extra.
He added vanilla too.
Pure
He just
vanilla.
poured vanilla right in.
I've got some Heinz ketchup if you want to throw it in too.
Okay, you got it? As long as it's brown, I'll do it.
Okay. Thank you. You can see how you could end up pouring everything all over the floor. Because the last thing I did was drain out all that water, and then maybe I don't come back for 10 or 15 minutes and I've forgotten that gate's open. Close the gate. Or in this one, push down the handle. Otherwise, it'll be all over the floor. After this, we're going to do something we call questions answered, where Jeff and I get to sit in comfortable chairs and answer your questions. So I sure hope you have some questions. Otherwise, Jeff and I are just going to talk to ourselves.
How much vanilla did you just put in?
What is it?
How much
What's the formula?
vanilla?
What's the formula?
1 ounce. I'm just
1
asking.
ounce per quart.
1 ounce per quart.
There you go, 1 ounce per quart.
Quart of mix.
8 ounce.
Quart of anything.
Well, how do you know if you didn't measure? So he had 6 and
I
4,
know.
he had about 10.
What?
You were running 6 quarts of water and 2 quarts of ice cream.
Right. So I put in 8 ounces of.
But you also have the Amaretto.
8 ounces.
No, I
I
don't
wouldn't
worry.
count that. Okay.
It's-
You're looking at about 6 ounces of vanilla.
Well, I put in 8.
Okay.
Exactly 8. I put in exactly 8 ounces. I could do that. I could measure it right here blindfolded.
Don't you remember my old trick where I'd say we're going to use 17 pounds of sugar and I'm pouring it in, and then I'm holding the bag and I look at it and I go, I learned this from a chef.
Oh.
And so I reach in and I grab about this much and put it in. Okay, it's good. And everybody's going, wow. I have no idea what I was doing. It just looked good.
Let's try it.
We go through a lot of spoons.
You're not going to have this, are you?
Now, is it good?
Very good. Very good. What did we put Heath Bar in the other day? What was it?
Raspberry Heath Bar chip.
Raspberry Heath Bar chip? Is that what we made?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Never make Heath Bar chip. It's one or the other. It wasn't this, was it? With Heath Bar? No? Pete?
I think it was raspberry crunch.
Raspberry Crunch.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Raspberry Crunch it is. Okay. So save room after lunch for more ice cream. Whoa, that's a lot. Water, sugar, mix, coffee, chocolate powder, amaretto, chocolate chips, and vanilla. Perfect. Thanks. Because if this comes out good, it's a winner. I thought it came out great when we made it the other day. Absolutely great. Who hasn't had what's called cream ice before? Oh, don't be afraid. Raise your hand up. Who hasn't had cream ice? Okay. Because cream ice is a wonderful
Hey, Michael, you come on mic
product,
for me?
but it's the salability factor is hard, because if you open a store and put cream ice on the window, they're going to shut you down. They'll think you're selling whatever.
They just think you're dyslexic.
Yeah, ice cream, cream ice, right? What? It's like sherbet, but it's different. Boy, we should have made. Well, I'll tell you what. I can make cream ice that tastes just like ice cream. Right? I mean, we made cream ice that was just. What did we make? We made chocolate. No, that was Italian ices. Wasn't the raspberry?
We made this.
What?
We made this.
We made this, right, right. That's right. Does anybody have a problem? I shouldn't say a problem with alcohol. Does anybody not? Anybody here from Utah? Okay, you can all taste this, right? Sorry, Utonians. What are they called? Utes. They're Utes. Oh, I'm going to hear about this. Mike, we can get rid of that, can't we?
Never.
Oh, those two Utes. So, what else? Who doesn't have a store yet? Do you have a location? All signed, sealed, and delivered?
Signed by Friday.
Oh, I wish I could talk to you before then. Okay. What are you going to do?
I just do pop-up shops and fresh markets.
What'd she say?
He said I do pop-up shops in
Fresh markets.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Anybody see the movie Chef?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. You should watch that movie, Chef. It's very funny. Two guys buy a panel van and gut it and decide they want to sell tacos, but they want to go cross-country selling tacos. So their marketing method was genius. And every town they went to, the people were expecting them, anticipating them, and they outfitted this truck with tacos, and it's a very cute movie. Not an Academy Award winner, but it's cute. Oh, we're getting there. What?
We all look at your reaction.
Oh, most of the stuff is great, you know? Some stuff I'm not a big fan of. What do you think of the lavender? I like the lavender. Needed more chips, of course, but I like the lavender.
Why would you say
Expectations for what I was getting.
we're signing?
Not very accurate. Chocolate
And I'm okay with
ice. And I got the hit with coconuts. I was
I'm real good at a location.
so because I was expecting something different, I think I was surprised. Yeah, I'm good with coconut.
No, that's
You know
okay.
what? I don't want somebody to say that I'm eating pickle when I'm not.
That's all right.
but I do think, which is why I turned down the other 5.
So I do think that
Mike, this part's pretty boring, isn't it?
trying to follow you back and forth and keep it away.
No need. I have nothing to do. I'm bored.
You want to start question and answer?
Not yet, because then we have no question and answers when we have the question and answer time.
I'm trying to start right now.
You're not going to walk in front of the camera again, are you? You got that, Mike?
Got it.
Okay. Almost. So how do we know when it's ready?
Does it have to have a pad? Is it a self-spread?
How do we know when it's ready, Pete?
It peaks and it holds the peak.
Right. Get that, Janet? How do we know when it's ready? When it holds the peak. Right. When it holds the peak. Right now, close. Close. By the way, if we're using 10% butter fat, this is one of your questions. If we're using 10% butter fat in the mix, and we use 2 quarts of it, and we use 6 quarts of water, how much butter fat is in the ice cream? That's an obvious answer.
10% butter fat.
Right. If we use 2 quarts of 10%, this is a trick question.
It's still 10% butter.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Now, that's not to say that each serving is 10% because you've diluted it. But that's what your ice cream is, 10%. Okay, we ready? See? Man learns. Oh. Mike, how was that? Okay, we'll have this, and then we'll sit down, get a little groggy, and have lunch. Question and answers first. One minute. Somebody time 1 minute. Janet, we'll give you a new spoon.
I know, but I'm trying to be conservative. I have an environmental thing going on. I'm putting enough to go. Thank you for the offer.
We good? Pete, how much? Say when.
It took you about 8 seconds to get started, so we'll take it to 50 seconds so long.
It's just like
Or it's 30.
Okay, let's try it.
What's your